Senate in the state of Kentucky. I'm running against Mitch McConnell. My biggest two campaign platforms are healthcare and education. This video will go over healthcare specifically and the positives of privatized insurance with some government involvement for people that can't afford it or pre-existing or that kind of stuff. But also, I got a Medicare for all single payer solution. Somebody sent this to me and I read it and I'm like, well, I'll go over the mostly negatives of a single payer healthcare. Countries that are single payer or Medicare for all, such as Canada, Norway, taxes are astronomically high. And you have to wait a long time for testing. So everybody, see, the whole thing is everybody is covered. Everybody's covered, but you don't get the services because they're rationed. You know, the governments are on budgets, and you know what? If you're older and you need chemo, well, that younger person that has the same kind of cancer is going to get the chemo before you. And I'll explain that in a little bit here, but I'll resort to my notes because I like to be factual. Most of my information comes from Sally Pipes. She's the director of the Pacific Research Institute. She's a healthcare expert. And I'll be putting most of her stuff because she's a pretty intelligent person. Okay, so anyways, Medicare currently is going broke in the U.S. Medicaid, which is the state-run, basically Medicare for poor or whatever, is financially breaking states. Now, if you only have government-run insurance, you can't have privatized insurance. You can't have that. You know, hey, I want this kind of insurance because it gives me these kind of benefits. No, the government runs everything. We know we don't want them running everything because they can't run anything anyways. So that'll make 165 million people without insurance. 165 million people that have private insurance, that'll be gone. 40% decrease in doctors' pays. By 2030, over 126,000, there will be a shortage of doctors because they're not going to work for 40% or work for the government. I can tell you that I won't. You know, your income will be capped. We already have a doctor shortage, you know, and the bigger thing is the government will decide how much they will spend and on who. Rationed health care, medications, diagnostics, and surgeries will all be rationed. So anyways, I got a cousin in Canada. He's an ER doctor. 8 to 12 months for diagnostic MRI, PET scans, colonoscopies, etc. People wait in Canada. Sure, everybody's covered. Hey, I got a card. I got a plastic card, insurance. It's not worth a hill of beans, you know. So the reality is, elderly will suffer. The elderly people will suffer. The younger patients will be first. That's in general because the patient outcome is usually a younger patient's going to do better under treatment or surgery, and they're going to look at that. So your increase in taxes. Actually, when they say 30 trillion dollars for Medicare for all, most countries have tripled that. So say that'll be 90 trillion. So, you know, they can't even tell you how much it's going to cost, but you can bet and rest assured it's going to be triple the amount, especially here in the U.S. Reading my notes. We have great privatized insurance until the government screwed it up with Obamacare. So, I don't know, I lost my insurance 3 times in, I believe, 1 year. So, and my deductibles kept going up. I had a really nice deductible copay. It went from $250 to $5,000 per person to $10,000 per person. So basically, with the insurance companies, they're getting your money, and you're paying for all your care. Because I don't need $10,000 care, you know, in a year, because usually I'm pretty healthy and I try and keep myself pretty healthy. But you can burn through that if you're pretty sick. And it's been a mess. What we need to do is more competition from state to state with all of insurance companies. Just open it up, Just like buying a car. If there was only one car dealership in the country, say like the government, they can sell the cars for whatever they want. They'll tell you what kind of car you can have, what color, what stuff you can get in it, this and that. Now, if we have car dealerships like we do all over the U.S. and all over the world, you can get whatever you want, and you can negotiate your prices. And that's what privatized insurance does. So that's what needs to be done. Doctors need to make the decisions with their patients, not insurance companies or the government. Nobody wants the government or insurance companies dictating care. I'm the kind of doctor that calls them up and says, this patient needs these tests, and if they don't get them, I'm thinking something ominous. I'm thinking cancer or anything else, and they deny it. Well, that's on them. I get their number. I write, their number down, their ID, everything about, just in case, you get sued, blah, blah. Anyways, so I know I'm rambling on, but, it just, when you hear about health care for all, it can't work. Because if something's free, if I put 10 donuts on a table, somebody's going to eat all of them because it's free. Well, if Doc keeps putting out donuts, it's free. Okay, now we have to ration it because there's no more donuts. So that's Medicare for all. So we can have a little bit of that for the people that don't make enough money, or the poor. We have those in play anyway. So bring back the privatized insurance. Bring back the good old days where employers used to pay for your health care. Pay a good wage for employees to stay there. That's just the way to do it. That's the American way. We need to change it. I can help. I'm a doctor. I think that way. I think for you as the patient. And please vote me in June 23rd. Dr. Paul John Frangidakis. Thank you.